same thing. and
Those revenues do not come to DPW.
I was just gonna say
The
there's like-
citation fines do not come to DPW.
But
the
can I ask
municipal
about,
doesn't
okay,
charge.
let's get into the details.
It's
Can I
not
ask about the planters?
I
I
understand.
mean, there are hundreds of those planters up and down Capitol and Oakland. I have a hard time believing that just the soil for those planters is $5,000, not to mention the actual plants, not to mention the, I mean, planters, you have to go and water them like almost every day if it's dry in the summer. That's a lot of time. I can't believe that it's only $5,000 for all those planters.
What is that 5,000? Is it the contract amount? Because do we contract or is that in-house? In-house. So is that just the salary line? What's the 5,000?
I believe the 5,000 was the cost of the annual plantings, and then 2 summer help to water them. Well, actually, it works to 1. So one temporary seasonal staff at a wage of $9 an hour, and then the cost of the actual plantings.
So we didn't adjust for other staff time like we did for snow or other things? So I think Trustee Menti, you were saying a lot of time goes into it, so it must be in-house, and is there a savings?
So for the cost of the planting materials and 1 temporary summer help staff, we're estimating it's about $5,000 a
Not to
season.
plant it, just the plants themselves, correct? It's not the staff time to actually do the planting.
Well, yes, I believe we plant most with the summer staff, correct?
So they estimated 1 summer staff.
Does all our plantings and our maintenance?
For the district
No,
planners.
for the planters.
So that,
The
I mean,
equivalent of-
Oh,
well,
just
they'll be
those
accrued
round-
you know,
doing the
if you
planting.
had one person who was just doing the planting, I mean, I don't.
I did, okay, so that does
There are
not include,
hundreds of them.
that does not include the cost of the,
Yeah, I've counted.
Really?
I've counted.
Wow.
And there are,
Yeah,
I'm
They're
probably
just-
like 200.
they're just shy of 200.
Wow.
That's-
Counted.
I didn't know.
So that cost does not include the labor cost to plant the planters.
Can we get that? So, or we do
But-
it for other things?
But again, it's part of a person's duties, and that cost,
But if
these
you
labor costs, it doesn't go away.
But eventually it might, because if we take like Trustee Mencha just said, if you take a little bit, if you start decreasing services, it's gonna add up to a full position in DPW, that's, I think, the point. Maybe not this year, but it would be good.
So you wanna keep
Right,
track of it.
yeah, cause we do see as we're going forward, you should eventually, if you're lowering service levels, you will
If
eventually
it comes down to the
should.
same
I
person.
mean, I'm.
If you can do that,
I'm
that's why I asked.
I'm interested in not just the planters, but there's we have pretty elaborate, plantings all over the village, which are, are nice and are lovely, but I mean, maybe we could go a little simpler.
Can I just say for the business improvement district, I'm throwing it out there because it's a revenue idea, but in other municipalities, when things get a little tighter, the business improvement district is created like the Lake Association to do, most places, that's what they do. They pay for actual services that the municipality can't, so that because they have more money and they special assess themselves. The business improvement district special assessment hasn't been raised, it's way lower than others around us. And so it's a good, I would support an increase in an operating plan for more assessments onto the businesses for that, because we're low in that, but not if it's gonna go to like more street festivals. I mean, if it's actually gonna supplement a service, I would vote for that.
Okay, at the Atwater Beach, where's the one about the testing? Yeah, I mean, I don't, with staff time and water I mean, we have to water, we have
Yeah,
to.
we
do
have
it.
to.
Yeah, you got that.
What is staff time exactly?
There you go.
Our staff does that, our summer staff, and then in the periods that our summer staff is in college, our staff will pick up the beginning or the end of the testing season, but we do that for North Shore Health.
So the staff time refers to the time they spend in testing the water.
Not
Testing
cleaning.
and then ferrying to the lab.
Okay, got it.
Do all of the other communities pay for the testing of their beaches?
No, but as of the last couple of years, we have been reimbursed, for the majority of that cost, North Shore Health has reimbursed.
So we wouldn't necessarily be eliminating $4,000, is what you're saying, because we get reimbursed for it?
We would not necessarily be doing that, but you know, if North Shore's, I guess, one option would be that we, you know, North Shore could provide the service on its own if it's paying for the service. It would not have to come through our budget.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Jessica.
I just have a question about the natural land lawn care maintenance. Is that just mowing of the lawns? Like,
No,
is that then?
that's not mowing at all.
It's a contract,
So
isn't
it
it?
would be,
That is natural turf management and care. So in lieu of weed and feed,
right,
we spend about $20,000 a year
And staff?
for natural applications and natural management of the turf to keep it in a presentable condition without the use of pesticides or herbicides.
Is it a staff or is it a contract?
It's a contract.
It's a contract,
And-
okay.
just so I understand, so if we were to eliminate that, what would that look like?
It's
What-
$20,000.
what-
You mean visually what would it look like?
What would that look like?
Our turf areas would look like the school.
Oh,
Lots of dandelions.
right. Okay,
Does the school not have that practice?
We do not do that.
Okay, so it would just be matching that.
Okay, and, would you wanna talk about the capital stuff, but,
And so would we use weed and feed?
Well, that would be
A
up to
policy.
you.
And then, there still would be some maintenance,
We would still have to mow.
right.
but mowing is not in the $20,000.
Mowing is an additional, you know, it varies year to year. We would
Right,
usually
weather contingent.
budget with an estimate of 18 cuts.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you're talking probably another $25,000 to $30,000 just for mowing.
Wasn't there, this is aerating and over the years, there's
Aerating,
more
overseeing.
stormwater retention. They did an analysis of how much more stormwater retention is in River Park, and we're really cutting edge on the additional stormwater retention because of the quality of our soils in the public areas, so there's some benefit there.
And just to understand the comparison to, like, to the school district's lawns, and, I mean, is that, to trustee Meyer's point, is that less, is the soil less desirable because of that? Yes,
Yes.
okay.
There was a report a couple of years ago
Yeah,
that he
yeah.
presented.
Try and find that.
Yeah.
Just wanted to understand.
one more,
For,
services.
since we're talking about revenue, raise revenue, one of the ideas is a lake association, and I know it would not be for 2019, but I would like to keep it on the radar. Talking with some of the residents on the lake, after you explain what it is, and the League of Municipalities actually was talking about it at the roundtables. It's, you know, they weren't opposed to it. the
Is
ones
that
I
a
spoke to.
special assessment also?
It's like, yeah, it's like a homeowners association, but they would, if they want increased, you know, trash removal, or if they want different plant, you know, they would have some say, and they would be able to help absorb some of those costs in the future, or security guard, or whatever it may be.
Let's talk about page 30, we have, just 11 minutes, but,
Is that because we'll probably come back to the DPW items there in that department?
well, yeah, we can stay if you want, I just thought there might be some things on this list of,
Okay,
capital funds that we might be able to,
sure.
Page 30.
I'm fine moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as we can talk about those when we get to the department.
oh, yeah, when we get to DPW for sure, yeah.
So capital is,
The 65,000 for police building completion design, I meant to go back and look at, Riley's costs, how much we paid Riley so far, and as a percent, I'd like to know what the percentage that design has been of the, page 30 of what Mark, sent.
Yeah,
So I'd like to know,
Second go over it.
what Riley's costs as a percentage of the total budget that we've had so far have been. 'Cause, I mean, that sounds high to me for designing a garage, but.
is that for the garage?
All spending on.
Or can I just ask a question though, is that, I thought it was like completing something for, not going forward, this is completion of something they've already done, or is this
Well,
part
the
of phase one?
capital budget has a description of what those services are,
So,
so
we haven't read it yet, so.
you haven't read that yet, that's really more,
No, it's not in the binder.
Yeah, okay.
if you had the binder,
binder.
Well, it's on our
it
list.
would
we're talking
be,
about it.
page 114 of the budget document binder.
Can you just summarize it, so I don't have to read it?
Architectural design, 30 grand, civil design, 20 grand, fire protection, 10 grand, reconstruction, 5 grand.
But it's,
And it's got a narrative on what that's all about.
is it for designing the garage, or is it something that they're designing as phase 2A?
Two A's already been done, so that's what they're finishing
So it'd be
now.
for the remainder of the building, but it, and not, in addition to just design, it would be also full plans and specification and bid documents
For the garage?
for the remainder of the building, so that would be the garage and the public space.
All of it, okay, that's the 60,000, thank you.
But if we decide we wanna try to lease out that leftover space instead of, I mean, we haven't really even had discussions about, do we need that space, do we want that space?
Right.
This is not the most expensive garage in history, I don't know, I just feel. Okay.
Could you take out the community space and just do the garage? If that's,
To design it,
yeah.
and that's how we would get a lower cost. Is that where you find?
That's
Well,
what
I mean,
think
if
I
we
would-
lease it out, we would probably have to do the improvements to the
Yeah.
space, so, I mean, but maybe we can figure out if we're gonna, I don't know who would be interested in leasing that space, if we would get some.
I'm just asking if the board's will was to move forward with the garage. I personally wanna wait, but I'm just saying, if the board's will was, and we didn't want, we're not ready to make that determination of community space, can we design just the garage if that's the board's
I
will?
mean, I would assume you could, but I would have also assumed that not doing both of them at the same
Right.
time would not be very cost
Okay,
beneficial.
Efficiency costs.
right. So all or nothing, in other words, wait on
Right.
both of them or, okay.
I guess it just seems like a lot to pay for an architect to design a garage, but anyway. Wilson Drive street furniture, I'm not, this gets into the whole discussion we had about prioritization. And, you know, and I have to say, a lot of the seeds we planted in prioritization are coming up as fruit here, but we talked about phase 2 of Wilson. And I don't know how real that is or not real, but, I'm not sure I'm ready to say, yeah, let's put, street furniture out
Well,
yet.
this is simply a bench for each of the bus stops and to replace trash cans at Congress and add one at Kensington.
That wasn't in our
Yeah, that was
scope of the
No.
building of,
No, we specifically said during the adoption budget discussion for the project last year that that would be removed and added back for 19 as a capital project item request.
I don't remember that.
It should be on the list.
Yeah.
Definitely on the list.
Definitely on the list.
Yeah.
One of the things I thought was, we have a small capital, schedule, so when technology, not, unlike roads, so roads, that's what we're kinda I was asking for parking lots, the schedule was similar, because, carpets and things like that, and I didn't have the binder with me, but I wanna keep those things on there, because I feel like we've talked about this in the last 2 budgets, sometimes, it's like 5 years and a car has to be replaced. And is there, unless it's in poor repair and it's dying and it's, we can't use it anymore, can we extend that a year? So extending our small capital schedule,
Yeah, we've often, since I've been on the
Right.
board, we've deferred
discuss that,
replacement of vehicles.
but actually looking at the whole schedule, so not just one by one, but actually saying, is it okay to extend the auto schedule a year, so that
It doesn't
you're not
outpace
replacing
it.
as fast?
Mhm.
And then, it would make sense that way, rather than asking about every single car. It might not be it might not be possible if some cars are, but just taking a look at it comprehensively, and what that would save us from 1 year of deferral.
Great idea. Just, as a point of preference, when you do go through your budget, those schedules are all in the back. And you will notice a lot of vehicles are well past their scheduled replacement cycle,
Right.
because we do evaluate that, we just categorically,
Is that
say
one of
time's
the
up.
Is that one of the appendices?
Yes, it's one of the appendices in the back, but, yeah, it's a good discussion. I just wanna bring to light again, there's a lot of vehicles who are well past their 10 or 15-year cycles that we just nurse along until they become maintenance prohibitive to keep.
So maybe there is a new standard, if you did just a look back over the last 5 years or 10 years of how long have we been in average utilizing, before replacement on average from your fleet? that might really help in the future. And the same thing would go for the other small capital, like carpets. I know the library is looking at carpet replacement. I know they're all on a schedule, and it just, I'd like to know comprehensively, or have we been continuing to push those back for all departments?
Yeah, all the schedules are there, you can certainly, take a good look at that, and we can follow up with some specific
Okay,
discussion.
thank you.
I asked this on Saturday, but in here, where we talk about the capital fund overview again, it talks about the $200,000 allocated for sidewalks. But that's really subsidized by the special assessments of the residents, and so I know that, I don't know if there's maybe another way to indicate that, or if there should be indicated in there.
Because there's an offset.
Well, that's
Right.
just a list of the major projects, all the details are in the capital budget, which that is,
Right.
you know,
No, and I get that, but when you're looking quickly at it, it's slightly misleading that we're spending $200,000 on sidewalks when we're not.
Right, if we're looking to make expenditure reductions to get us to
Right,
2%
like,
or 3%.
okay, let's take out the 200 grand for
It's
sidewalks,
hard to
but just
say.
kidding, it doesn't matter.
It would be helpful.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
maybe
an
an
asterisk.
I
asterisk.
Right, like
understand.
an asterisk or something.
So much
yes.
percentage is reimbursed
Right,
from
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would help.
resident payment assessments.
And all these things we bonded for, except for,
Something with PPI.
except for,
PPI is 200,000, and I was just saying maybe the same parentheses, when we do get a half of that from MSD, that might help to know what our cost is.
Point taken.
Do we get transportation funds for any of the DPW equipment?
We don't get funds for DPW equipment, it's how we choose to schedule our annual revenues. Sometimes it goes into capital to fund equipment used on the transportation system. Sometimes it goes into operations. That is one of our management tools to help accommodate compliance for expenditure restraint. It depends on where those funds are allocated. So, you know, as we get near the end of this process, you know, I will come up with specific recommendations at that point if anything needs to be tweaked.
I thought that you mentioned before that only refuse could be on the capital bend, and that the rest had to come from operating. I could be wrong, but I have heard that.
Only one?
Refuse equipment go on
Mike,
the capital.
Mike, did you?
Yeah, just, so our next meeting, there's some things that are on, could somebody get us the page numbers or something exactly?
Yeah, it's in your table of contents, everything, I'll email the page numbers, but
Yeah,
the table of contents is
capital budgets.
organized, by section, and I'd be happy to provide some feedback.
Just so we're prepared.
Yeah, and at the beginning of the well, we have 3 hours on the 24th, but at the beginning of the meeting, maybe I'll email beforehand or we'll pass out like a suggested schedule, just so we can kind of.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
And
That
then
would be-
question, if trustees have questions ahead of time or points of discussion, just, we'll all get them ahead of time, and staff will have a chance to
Yeah.
weigh in, that would be really great.
Yeah.
I would have gone that
Do
way.
you want us?
Would you like the page numbers now? I have them.
No.
No.
Can we just
No.
clarify, how would you like those questions? I mean, do you want us to send the questions to all the board members? I've heard it both ways, I just wanna make sure.
I like them going to
Going
staff
to-
and then
they
staff
send it back
responds and
to
then
everybody.
passes it out.
Okay, so we do not
It's
see
easier for
our
me to-
questions to all trustees.
Right,
Okay,
it's easier for them. And I think it's.
That's what I think we
that's
decided on last
I think
time, right?
that's a challenge.
I think, you know, my only question about that is, for the public record, how do those, I mean, if we're asking questions and getting answers before we come to the
Yeah,
public meeting, I think we should attach them to the minutes or something.
Yeah, I actually thought, I
we
assumed
used to
that,
do that.
I assumed that the memo that we got, that with the, staff stuff in red would have been in our packet or something. And I just didn't track whether it was or not, but I think that that would be the logical place. And it also would then be helpful for discussion to have it all in one spot.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I can't find it.
I like
on
that
my-
idea.
Okay.
You did that before.
So trustee Mensah, how is your intent to manage questions of clarification versus policy discussions with staff? Do you wanna keep policy discussions at the
Sometimes
table,
not.
or do you want us just to
You
field
need questions that are
clarification?
emailed to you?
Yes.
They should just be information,
Like you did
clarification,
before.
yeah.
But again, sometimes it's hard when you're asking the question, but you did for the long range, I'm just giving an example, that you wrote, this is a policy question.
Okay,
Yeah, I found that
right,
helpful.
the
Yeah.
form for policy is the board, the form for policy is not between any one of us and staff, so.
But for staff to acknowledge that's a policy
Yeah.
discussion.
Right,
I'll just do
sometimes
my
you just make a
best.
mistake. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not
I'll
like
do
you
my
go,
best.
oh,
I just wanna make sure I got a little clarity on that before we get adjourned.
All right, we adjourn,
It would be helpful that these documents, as they do become part of the public record.
Right.
and you-
The clerk was provided with those documents, she
Okay.
attached them, and thank you.
and for next year, when we're doing this, I really would be helpful if I could have the binder a day ahead of time, because it just
Well-
would be very helpful for me.
Generally, staff is given an opportunity to present the budget
I understand it's great
before
for
all the
past.
distractions of giving you all the detail pages. So it's kind of done intentionally, because our next meeting on the budget
I
is
just made a
really
request, I
next
understand
week.
what we've done, so I just, we can
Okay.
discuss it.
Move to adjourn. Second.
Thank you.
Aye.
Given my big brush, I left my packet at home, so that's maybe what I have to do. So I don't know, I would just print. Do you have a copy, you're gonna have a copy of the packets?
I never printed it. Yeah, I mean, I can print
You don't
it
have to
here.
print like the
No, I
budget
didn't.
stuff, we just, like how, you just